What's up, entrepreneurs? Welcome back to the Insane Entrepreneur. And this is a quick guide, or kind of definition, I guess, of what is a REIT. Okay, so a REIT is a real estate investment trust. What it is essentially it's a company that buys up a bunch of property, rents it out to people, and then that rent is now a consistent monthly revenue. REITs were invented in 1960 something by the government. And because it was established by the government, there is, of course, rules and regulations associated with REITs. So in order for the government to consider you a REIT, that company has to follow certain rules. One of the government requirements in order to qualify as a REIT is to reinvest profits to going back into dividends. And it's something high, like 90%, something like that, don't quote me. Either way, it's a high percentage going into dividends. That leads to some of the downsides, or what some people consider to be the reason why they wouldn't invest in REITs. Because the government requires those REITs or companies to reinvest a very specific amount into dividends, that stifles growth. So unlike Facebook or Google, they're not able to reinvest into their companies in R&D, research and development or whatever, to come up with some crazy new idea to accelerate growth. That's not something you're gonna get out of a REIT. A REIT, because they're forced to take a lot of their profits and give it to you in a form of a dividend, growth is not something you should expect out of these things. That being said, a lot of people out there tend to believe that it doesn't really matter. Growth is actually something very hard to try to find in companies. Like, for example, Amazon. A lot of people miss that train. It's wicked hard to find the next Amazon. But with a REIT, you can rely on those dividends on a monthly or quarterly. So some REITs actually pay on a monthly basis, and some REITs pay on a quarterly basis. Either way, you can rely for the most part on those dividends. Now, to increase the benefit of receiving monthly or quarterly higher dividends, the idea is that you would take those dividends and reinvest it. Whether you have a DRIP, which is a dividend reinvestment plan, which takes the dividends and then buys more shares, and then those dividends that accumulates, just adds up, and then you buy more shares, and then, so that's pretty much what a DRIP is. You can pretty much simulate a DRIP in Robinhood because there's no fees. Another thing that people tend to consider as a negative part to dividends is that dividends pretty much get added into your portfolio, which will count towards your yearly income. Which, I mean, if you're not making that much money and you have a bunch of REITs or dividends that you get on a yearly, monthly basis, quarterly basis, whatever, and it contributes to your overall income, I mean, it's not really gonna affect you much. But if it puts you in another bracket, yeah, that's something to think about, because you may or may not want to go hard on dividend investments. So one of the biggest misconceptions about investing in REITs is that, oh, you're just investing in real estate, it's just overall risky. No, you can diversify within REITs. So you can just buy a REIT that invests in rental income. You can buy REITs that only have properties in health sectors. So there are many different industries that you can tap into by buying certain types of REITs. It's not like I'm investing in real estate and then the real estate market crashes and then I'm done for. It's like you can invest in industries that actually last during these recessionary periods. Recessionary, I think that's a word, I think. But anyway, that's the reason why I love REITs, is because the power of compounding dividends. And oh my God, if you do the math like 10, 20 years out, you can see why it's an amazing thing, and why sometimes people have a mixed bag of very great dividend stocks and also growth stocks. So I'm not the person who says only get dividends or only get growth. I like to mix the bag up a little bit. But yeah, let me know if you liked the video, and let me know if I left anything out in the comments down below.
Up.